Are we ready? All right, we have to exchange, so let me have your lunch boxes.
Who says there's no such thing as a free lunch? At the Bradford Academy in Upper Montclair, New Jersey this Monday, we decided to change a few lunch plans.
In exchange for your lunch, you'll get a nice lunch that the Good Morning America people brought for you. All right?
This is what the average kid's bag had in store.
Some fidget things, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
What's your favorite thing to eat?
Chips.
Chips. Any particular kind of chips?
Doritos.
What's your favorite thing for lunch in your lunchbox?
My sour cream and onion chips or Pringles.
We replaced the kids' lunches with our own GMA lunch, which included a sandwich on whole wheat bread with low-fat mayonnaise, a few carrots, 100% orange juice, an apple, some pretzels, which are fat-free, and a few cookies.
All right.
This is okay. This is pretty good. After making the swap, we made off with their lunches and headed for the lab.
What we'll be looking for today on these sandwiches is the protein content, the fat content, the carbohydrate content, the calories, and certainly the sodium. And armed with that ammunition, we can tell whether the child is getting a relatively well-balanced meal or an entirely imbalanced meal.
They weighed fruit snacks, blended cookies, pineapples, and chips. Boiled, baked, and mixed those Bradford lunches into a blend of calories, salt, and fat. Yum! Today, we see the results.
And Sarah joins us here in our studio, along with a number of the kids and their parents from the school in New Jersey. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll get to you guys down there in just a few moments here. Let's first talk about what you found after we collected all of these lunches.
Well, for starts, we found a lot of these kind of things, these little snack items. You've got yogurt in a tube, Pokemon fruit snacks, devil dogs, all those sort of things. What we did after we took it to the lab is we took our results to our nutritionist, Kathy Isolde, to get her, expert advice.
Right.
And first of all, she said what she could observe from these lunches was the children are not getting enough calcium, not getting enough fiber, and they were way too high in fat and calories. I have to say, I'm a culprit here too, so we're not going to cast any aspersions, we're not going to mention any names, but let's start with our first lunch. This was a second grader's lunch, and it started with, we had Doritos and Oreos and Kudos, and there's 4 snacks there. And then we have a sandwich, a perfectly fine sandwich with some meat on it and some fruit and some juice. Now, what's the problem here? We have 936 calories, 38 grams of fat, and it's pretty high in sodium. This is half the calorie allotment for that child that day. Now, as Kathy, the head of the school, pointed out, kids don't eat the whole lunch, but still it was in there. And, it's nice to have a lot of variety, but the variety should not be a whole lot of these snack foods. So tip number 1, limit it to one one normal snack that's high in fat and high in calories. That's fine. Kids need to have fun. But replace the rest of it with another alternative. How about some fruit skewers on plastic skewers? It's perfectly safe, or some dried fruit or some raw vegetables with some low-fat dip. This would be great snacks, much better than those snacks.
I suspect there are people out there and they're saying, you know what, all that sounds great, and I'd love for my kids to eat this stuff, but we have 2 kids in grammar school and high school. One of them has always been a very picky eater.
Right.
What do you do to get your children then to do this instead of
You know what, I'm
this?
glad you asked. Get them involved. Take them to the supermarket with you. Tell them they can pick one little snack that they can have, but also have them help you prepare the food. Talk to them and have them pack their own lunch.
So if they feel they're part of the decision-making process is better.
Tip number 2, replace the chips with pretzels or baked potato chips are fine.
Okay, next lunch here.
Next lunch. Okay, this is our first grader's lunch, and we had all the usual items, snacks. And then we come up to our cream cheese on white bread. Now, this is like giving your child bread and butter. There's nothing going on there. It's really not very nutritious. So what we would recommend here instead would be, let me give you the calories, 717 calories, 24 grams of fat. But there's not a lot of good positive nutrition going on. So even if you took the cream cheese and replaced it with regular cheese, that would up the calcium, up the protein, and lower the fat. This cute little guy. And the other thing, back to the picky eaters, start having fun playing around with sandwiches, and again, get them involved, wraps and cutouts.
Okay.
Replace the applesauce. We did have applesauce, but an apple would be a much better source
More
of
fiber?
Right.
Okay. Got about a minute left here, so let's take a look at the
let's
last
get going. Okay, the message here, it looks like a perfectly nice lunch. We've got turkey and cheese on the sandwich. We've got the usual array of snacks. We've got pineapple. That's good. Can you guess how many calories are in there?
I couldn't even try.
1,165, 45 grams of fat because of all those snacks. But what I also want to talk about is the beverage. This should not be your beverage. First of all, it's not 100% fruit juice. If you have to have fruit juice, it should be 100%. But you really should get milk in there.
Too much
Low-fat
sugar
milk.
coming out of this?
Just it's all sugar, no nutrition. Well, I'm sure there's some in there, but low-fat milk. And guess what? Our nutritionist says low-fat chocolate milk
I saw
is
that.
great.
I was excited about that.
That was my
I
biggest
love-
message here. I
love
told
chocolate milk.
Sam, my son, he's thrilled.
Real quick, we have a couple of the kids
we have
here.
Aaron and Noah.
And Noah. What did you guys think about the lunches that we gave you to eat after we took your lunches away? Aaron, you first.
Be honest.
They were okay.
Yeah, that face you're making doesn't really look like okay to me.
What did we miss? The chips.
Yeah,
The
some
chips?
chips.
How about you? No. What do you think of the lunch? That's what you thought about the lunch, huh?
It was okay. Noah wasn't so happy with our sandwich choice, but we were talking before with Aaron's mom, and she's saying she thinks kids need something sweet and something salty. You can do that in a healthy way. Baked chips for you.
Right.
Okay.
Good ideas for everybody out there, especially for the picky eaters. Thank you. And you kids, thank you very much for participating. All of this, and the parents also, too.
Keep these in my office.
You're walking away with this? I thought these were mine, as a matter of fact. You and I will talk later.